Hello guys, this is Mike from McProgramming.org. In this tutorial I'm going to code up a small class of type car, and if you watched the last video, pretty much what a class is a blueprint so we can create an object from it. It groups together a bunch of related data fields and related functions that something could use, and we can create an object out of that. So this is the syntax of it. A lot of the stuff that's going to be coded in this video, which will be kind of short, but it may not make sense, but each video from here on out on the actual classes will start to explain each step. So the first word that we need to use is class to show that we are creating a class, and then we give the class a name. And I said I was going to use car as an example, so I'll just call it car, and it's customary to start a class with a capital letter. Alright, and then what we're going to do is these curly braces, and CodeBlocks automatically closed it for me and gave me a semicolon. That semicolon is very important. So everything inside of here is the body of your class, and so you can make your class do whatever you want it to do, okay? There's two major parts that I'm going to talk about today, and that is the variables or the data fields that your class holds. So each object will have these data fields, but they might have their own unique value. So to do that, what you're going to want to do, this may not make sense right now, but there's something called access modifiers, and that makes stuff within your class either private or public or default or protected. But we're going to focus on public and private, and not in this video necessarily. We're going to get into a public and private video very shortly, but private pretty much means that you can't access the stuff that's private outside of the class. And that may not make sense, but it's good programming practice, and you will see later on in your programming career that that is very important. So we're going to say private colon, not semicolon, and what this is going to do is where we label all of the stuff we want private in the class. So typically all of the variables or data fields of a class we want private. Alright, that's just the standard. You can make it public, but it's best practice to start saying everything private. Alright, and so what were some of the things I wanted to do? We need strings, so let's make sure we have strings accessible to us. So we're going to have to include the string file. Include string. Alright, that should be good. Alright, so now I'm going to declare some variables. String make, string model, string color. Color could be an enumeration if you wanted to, an enum type, but I'm just going to do it as a string for now. And I want to do an int, so let's do int year. Alright, and now after that what we can do is put all of our public stuff, which is usually the functions. You can have private functions too, but for now, to be simple and get the point, just make your variables private and make your functions public. Some of the functions we had were turn the car on or something like that. So let's say void start engine. And remember, when you create a function, it starts with a lowercase letter, and then every word after that should be uppercase. So start engine, we're going to pass in no parameters, and we're just going to print out the engine's been started. So cout engine started. Alright, we'll end that line. And I'll give you a function where we actually have to pass something in. So let's say void paint car, and we will pass in a new color. So I declared it as string, so I'll just say string new color. Alright, open that up, and we will set the color of that object equal to the color that we passed in the parameters, so new color. Alright, let me get rid of some of the space. Okay, so since this stuff is private right here, we can't really print it out or give it a value right now, and I will show you how to do that. You can do that with constructors and we can do that with get and set methods. I think getters and setters will be the next video. But for now, I'm just going to show you how to create an object and use what's in it. So now we have this, and just like how you create a variable like int x, we can say the data type now is car. So we'll say car, and let's give it a name. I'll just say Camry, and then you do a semicolon. And now what we can do is say Camry dot with the dot operator, and we can call either paint car or start engine. Okay, so let's start engine semicolon. Let's see what happens when we build and run that. Alright, so it printed out engine started. So that's pretty cool. We have a class now where we can put like stuff together and have it all organized and do what we want with that. And so now we can also paint the car. But let's see what happens if we try to access one of these private variables. We can say car dot make equals red. Alright, and I don't need to do anything other than that. That will show that it's private, so we can't do that. So join me in the next tutorial, and I will start coding getters and setters, or get methods and set methods, to where we can set the color, the make, and the model of these private variables. Okay, so just bear with me that the variable should be private. May not make sense now, but it will later on. Just stick with it, don't give up, and this is when the stuff starts getting fun. Thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe below and continue to watch the next tutorial. Thank you.